All right. So my intention for this live question and answer session is to really answer your questions about print on demand, what it is, what it isn't, if it might be right for you. And I do have a course on print on demand coming up. We've got an early bird price that ends in a couple of days. But really, I want to share about it, whether you end up taking the course or not, because I have found that it's been so fun and easy and just sort of speaks to that part of our creative journeys where we get to experiment and try new things without having to take a big risk. And I also want to mention that if you hear snoring in the background, those are my dogs. I've got two English bulldogs and they're both under my feet. It is not my husband snoring next to me. Hi, Simona. I just saw you joined. It's good to see you. Okay, so we got lots of questions, but the first question I'm going to ask is, what is print on demand, and is it like Zazzle or Redbubble or Society 6? So, um, print on demand in a nutshell is when you can take your art and put it on a product like iPhone covers or mouse pads or beautiful journals and all kinds of product without having to do the traditional manufacturing route where you have to invest in a lot of inventory, store that inventory, figure out the sourcing and the manufacturer, and then ship that inventory. So print on demand is you work with a print on demand platform. They have a ton of products. You put your art on whatever formats you might be interested in. One of my favorite formats is our t-shirts, which have been a great seller for us. This is one of my designs. And then you put it on your website, whether you have a Shopify site or an Etsy website or WooCommerce or something like that. And then what happens is when a customer comes to your website and purchases that t-shirt or that mug or what have you, the company, the print on demand company, will then print it on the product and they will ship it to your customer. So you are not having to worry about housing inventory in your garage or your closet or what have you, or you don't have to worry about shipping it. Now, and then you get a profit. So you can set your prices, and the print on demand company will generally recommend pay. Most t-shirt ranges between 28 and 40, and you can set your prices. And depending on what you set your price at will depend on your profit margin. I think it's really, really important that when I talk about print on demand, I am not talking about marketplaces like Society 6 or Zazzle or Redbubble. Those are marketplaces that already have a built-in audience where you can go to that website and put your art on a mug, and then it is the e-commerce site that your shop lives on. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you already have your own website, and you are hosting your own shop. And you might have print on demand product from, you might have iPhone covers from one print on demand company, and you might have sweet little vegan bags from a different print on demand company. Okay. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So that is one of the questions we got is what's the difference between like a Society 6, which is a marketplace print on demand, and what I'm talking about, which is a print on demand fulfillment company. They're two different models. And what this course will focus on is the latter, the fulfillment company model. So one of the questions is, um, even though I'm an accountant, the compensation side can be a little hard to understand. Is there any way to simplify? Sorry, Amelia. Sorry, there's another dog walking by. Is there a way to simplify so I can determine if I can make money? So hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay. So that is what I meant where you can sort of set your own prices. So for example, trying to remember like the t-shirts, for example, these typically cost about anywhere from 10 to $12 is the base price. So I sell my t-shirts for, I think we sell them for $32 to 34. So that means that I'm making $20 every time someone purchases a t-shirt. Okay. So you can imagine that that's a pretty decent profit margin without having to invest in all the sizes and have the inventory and warehousing it as well. Okay. Jen C, I saw that is Jen here? I thought maybe I saw her. She's asking, she has both retail and wholesale customers. This is a great question. And she wants to know if she can print on demand for both. Is it feasible and profitable to use print on demand for wholesale customers? And I have not found that that is the case. So products that I sell that are print on demand products, I do not offer those at wholesale prices because I don't find that the margin is there. I will say what I love print on demand for is a way to test products that could potentially be wholesale products. So, for example, if I want to, this is a really beautiful silk, 100% silk scarf. This is a print on demand product, and I'll share in the course where I source these, where I get them from. This is a great way to test product formats to see if they go. And then if they do and they do really well, well, then maybe I'll invest my time in finding a manufacturer to make them that I could then offer at wholesale prices. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Petra asks if these are platforms, and as I'm talking, feel free to put your questions in the chat too. Petra wants to know if these platforms are usable for international artists. Yes, this is the beauty of print on demand. A lot of the print on demand companies are based internationally in the UK and in Europe, and then they have various printing headquarters in various parts of the world. So if you're in the UK and someone has ordered a mug from your country, it's very likely it's being printed in your country. Let's see. Mira is asking how much time is involved in the setup. Okay, so this is really fun because if you already have your artwork, say for example, I've got this piece behind me, and I have a digital version of that. And in the course, I will show you how to do that. If you have an original painting, you need to digitize it. You need in order to put it on product, and I'll walk you through that process. It's not very hard. Then you can, oh, where was I? What was I just talking about, Wendy? Menopause, you guys. Menopause. Okay. So once you have the digital file of your artwork, then it's very quick to then put it on a product. And what I love about the print on demand companies is that, let's say I'm putting a design on this journal. This is a design that I put on a print on demand journal. I can, within seconds, have the same design on a t-shirt, on a mug, on a tote bag, and so forth. So it makes it really quick to put your design on multiple products. It's not very time consuming at all. And what I find is it's fun. I actually love it. I love going into the print on demand platform and playing. They all have um, design studios built in. So and I'll show you this in the course, but you log into the print on demand, you log and you bring up your digital image, and then you can play with it on various products. You can change the color of the t-shirt or the journal or what have you. And so it has that sort of fun dopamine hit of instant gratification of like, okay. And then it also gives you the mock-ups. So you can see in real time a 360 view of what your mug looks like. And then it will also, I just a minute, I'm gonna it will give you the images, so the mock-up images, so that you are not having to do all the photography if you don't want to. It will generate mock-ups using your image on your mug for you. I just hit myself with that. So not a lot of time. I find it's a little fun, but there is time involved to sort of nurture and see your vision come to life. Wendy, how am I doing?
There's a lot of questions here.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think I answered that one. Jill wants to know what exact companies I use. She's made a bunch of stuff on Shutterfly, but it's expensive to produce. Absolutely. Shutterfly is not going to be I think Shutterfly is great for example, I've used it to make product for Christmas presents with my kiddos' art and so forth, but it's not a sustainable print on demand company when it comes to having all kinds of different product and then selling it on your website. The profit margins just aren't there. So I will share in the course the exact companies I use, but also the companies that I don't use and why I don't use them. And also companies that I don't use, but that I know are good companies to use that I have friends in my community that use for various reasons. Um, One of the questions this question is coming in quite a bit is, um, uh, okay, I have a website, but the trick is getting people to that website. And if I spend a lot of time creating and designing print on demand product, how do I now get people to my website? So I want to share that we will be talking about that toward the end of the course of, okay, we've designed this product, we've made beautiful product, and we've gotten it in our shop. Now what? Um, we will be talking, I'm going to give you all kinds of small tips and tricks on how to get people to your website, little things that I do here and there and I've learned along the way. But I do want to say that that's like the broader marketing conversation and basically telling people, hey, I made something. It's really beautiful. Come check it out. That is an e-course within and of itself, right? It's a big topic. We're not going to skip over it by any means. And I will share my best resources for doing that. But there is a little print on demand is not a put your art on products and then let it go. There is some nurturing that we definitely will be talking about that you want to do as far as making sure that you are keeping your products up to date, refreshing your product collections with different designs, talking about them, sharing about them with whomever might want to know, who doesn't quite know yet. Okay, I'm going over into the comments. I'm sorry, the questions over here. Okay, Ellen is saying, I already use PRD, but you have found some amazing products, and I'm so curious about how you are finding all your sources. I feel limited by what I found as options. We will be covering this in the course. Yes, Ellen, I'm going to share exactly which print-on-demand companies I use, which products I use, which products I've tried, but that have not worked out. I'm going to give you an example. So, for example, this is a beautiful laptop sleeve that I made, but I don't love that it's not printed on the back, so I don't carry these in my class or in my shop. These are the kinds of things I'm going to share with you. Okay, I've tried this. Don't bother trying this product format with this company because it's not worth it. And there's a lot of trial and error, and I'm going to share all that with y'all. But then there's really, really beautiful finds. Like this is a gorgeous tote bag, y'all, with made out of vegan leather. It's gorgeous. And so I'll share where that is from, what I think about their customer service, what I think about their shipping times. Has my experience been that their customer service and shipping is good? Has it not? Yes, Ellen, you asked about the customer service too. That I have had really good luck with the print on demand platforms that I use and their customer service. That has not been an issue for me at all. There are times when a customer doesn't receive their product. And in those instances, I reach out to the print on demand company and simply say, this customer didn't receive their product. Please reship it. And they reship it. Every now and again, there is a misprint. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes one of the things that I really love about print on demand too is, especially with apparel, is they'll put your logo or in some cases, even your postcards and such in the packaging. And by the way, whenever they do send packages to your customer, they're all considered what they call white label, which means that the customer has no idea that it's coming from a different production partner. And as the customer is concerned, it came from you. Of course, it's always a good idea in your product descriptions, and I'll share this in the course, to share that this is a third-party printing partner. But the customer isn't going to know where you sourced your product. So every now and again, there is a misprint. It hasn't happened that much, if I'm being honest. And then the print on demand company will send the corrected version of the product. Yes, we'll talk about marketing. Yes, Mira asked, will you be teaching us how to make the desk pads and the pillowcases and the dish towels? Yes, that's a really important part of this course. So a lot of us have paintings and maybe we don't want to put that full exact 12 by 12 painting or what have you on a pillow. Maybe we want to extract flowers from that painting and put it on a pillow along with maybe an owl or a bird from a different painting and sort of combine it. So let me give you an example. So for example, this is a really cute pouch canvas, little vegan leather with a gold zip, really pretty product. So this is an example of how this bird came from a painting, but I extracted the bird from the painting, extracted these flowers from a painting, and I'll show you how you can do that, and then created a whole new design specifically to fit the template for that product. Yeah, we'll walk you through that, which is really fun. And for the way that I'm going to show how to do that mainly is through Canva. Raise your hand if you're familiar with Canva. Yeah. Canva is a free online platform and it's very, very powerful. And so let's say you want to make, I don't know, I'm going to go back to this silk scarf. The print on demand companies will give you a template that you can make your product from, even phone cases and so forth. And then you can upload those to Canva and then start playing with all of your paintings and digital elements. The other thing that is really cool about print on demand is that the platforms themselves allow you to make patterns. So you don't have to be a pattern maker. You can take your birdie or your butterfly and you can upload it to the print on demand platform's design center, and it will automatically create patterns for you. It's really fun. It's really simple. And we'll play with that too. Okay. Stacy's asking, do you monitor calibration tools? And is that part of the course or just do test prints as edit as needed? Not sure if you need to purchase those tools or not. I think what you mean, Stacy, and let me know if I'm wrong by calibration tools, meaning like colors and that kind of thing. So the print on demand platforms, I always order a sample. So if before I put this in my shop, I'm going to order a sample product of it first to make sure that the colors are right. Um, it's very rare that the colors have not been right, but I do recommend always ordering a sample first. And the samples are going to be most of the platforms will offer like a small discount so that you can get your samples before you put them in your shop. I hope that answers your question. Will I have handouts for sizing art for different products. So we're going to talk about when you digitize your art to put on products. I will talk through what size you want that art to be, which is going to be different if you are putting it on a web versus if you're printing it. You're going to want a high resolution of your artwork. So yes, we will be talking about that as well. Jordan has a great question. She wants to know, how do you deal with returns? So it's super important on your product page to make it really clear on your website. This product is printed on demand, which means that we don't actually make this product. It doesn't get made unless you order it. And because of the way that that works, we don't offer exchanges or returns on print on demand products. We can talk about that and you can see what I say on my website about this. It's pretty common to make it really clear on your product page. This is a print on demand product, which by the way, is print on demand is a great, there's a framework in print on demand that you can use to educate your customers around why you're choosing to do print on demand. And one of the reasons why print on demand is great is because it helps with sustainability. We're not investing in a lot of product that may or may not sell, that may or may not end up in landfills, et cetera, et cetera. These are made to order, which is a good thing for our planet. Yes, speaking of, Elle asks, have you had good luck finding sustainably produced print on demand items? Yes, there are print on demand um, platforms that do nothing but organic products and such. This is one of my favorite products that we sell, and this is organic cotton tote bag. And then there are print on demand platforms who do nothing but organic product. And we'll talk about that too. Let's see. Do you need a computer or is an iPad okay for the platforms you use? Victoria, that's a great question. You definitely want a computer. You're going to be limited. You're going to be limited in your iPad, I think, for everything that we're going to, especially when setting up your shop, unless you already have one. Okay. These are great questions. Let me keep going. Michelle's asking, could you share why it's better to sell on your own website versus using a marketplace like Redbubble, especially if you don't already have a strong customer base? Yeah, I'm happy to share a little bit about that. Number one, Michelle, is that marketplaces like Redbubble only have a certain amount of products, and everybody in that marketplace is selling the exact same product. So you're not, it might have a built-in audience, but I like the idea as artists of having a little bit more independence in what our website looks like, what our shop looks like, being able to add our own branding to our products, being able to add our own branding to the experience. When a customer buys, they're coming to our website, they're in our world. And also we could have a variety of products But if you're in a marketplace like Redbubble, you're seeing the same product over and over again. It just has different art. So it has a little bit of a generic feel to it. Versus if you have your own website and you get to curate your products, maybe you're selling your original paintings and you're selling iPhone cases. Maybe you're selling prints and print on demand product. And so with places like Redbubble, you're really limited. You can't do that. You have to sell what their products that they create. Let's see. Okay. Mira says Shopify is hard to set up, but it's fabulous. Yes, Shopify. We switched to Shopify about a year and a half ago, and it was one of the best moves that I could have made. And prior to Shopify, we had WooCommerce, WordPress. Love Shopify, really big fan. They have free templates that are beautiful. Okay, let me work through a couple of questions that came in otherwise. Anybody, feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question if you have one. Jordan's asking, can we set up a shop easily in a web builder like Wix or Squarespace? Yes, but I really recommend when it comes, if you're going to do print on demand, one of the things we're going to talk about in the course is that you want to make sure that that you're choosing a print on demand partner that integrates very, very easily into your shop. So I don't know much about Wix and Squarespace. I know that Squarespace has a built-in shop. And we just want to make sure that the print on demand companies that you're choosing integrate with Squarespace. Most of the print on demand companies that I'm aware of integrate very easily and beautifully with Etsy, Shopify, and WooCommerce. I don't know. And I'm sure there are print on demand companies that do a lot of integration with Wix and Squarespace. And that would just be something that you want to consider when you are choosing a print on demand partner. In the class, we're going to talk about the most popular print on demand companies. And part of that conversation would be for you to find it doesn't integrate with the website that I have, the website backend that I have, whether it's Shopify, Etsy, Squarespace, and so. Okay. How am I answering you guys' questions? Is this working? Yes. Is there anything? Is there a burning? Does anybody have a burning question that has not been answered yet? Erica's asking, does POD also work with photography? That's a great question. Yeah. So if you think about if you think about our, if you're putting a design on any kind of product, if you can see a photograph on that product, then yes, absolutely. And a lot of print on demand, what they do really, really, really well is stationery. So paper products. So think prints, think framed prints, think greeting cards. All that is going to be really beautiful for photography, especially if you want to send large format photography on a canvas per se, or on metal, or on a banner printed on canvas. That's sort of like a sweet little banner. That would all work really well for photography. No, you do not need a minimum amount of orders per month or any contract fees. No, you don't. There are some, so the print on demand platforms are free, and the way that they're making their money is, keep in mind, if I'm selling this tote bag for $20, and the base price is $10, they are probably getting this tote bag for maybe $5 or less. So they're making their money on doing the bulk purchasing of thousands and thousands of blank organic tote bags, right? So maybe they're paying $1 per tote bag, and we are then buying it from them for $10, and then we're making $10 when a customer buys it. So that's how they're making their money. There are some print on demand companies that will, you can be like a premium member of, and you get certain perks. But I have never joined those or paid for those. Most of those paid programs mean you get a little bit more samples every month. You can try a different product at a discount, that kind of thing. And I haven't done that. No contracts, no fees. So you're not, again, this is why print on demand is so fun because it's little to no risk. Mira has to leave. Bye, Mira. No worries. Okay, we have, oh my gosh, it's been 30 minutes already. I can just keep going. Okay, so I'm gonna end this Q&A session, but I would love it if y'all can unmute yourself and again just fill your the space with your energy. Say goodbye. If you have any questions, just send me an email. I'm happy to answer. But you guys come join the course. It's gonna be really fun. The early bird price ends on Tuesday, the 11th. And I would love to see you in there. We're going to have a Facebook page. So you can share your designs and your shops with each other. So you'll have a little bit of a boost of people and traffic coming and checking out your designs. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kelly Ray.
Thank you, Kelly.
Bye.
Thank you.